Do not do favors to anyone may sound like unethical advice that many of us cherish, as in some situations, helping others can cause more harm than good, both for yourself and others. In this video, we'll uncover 10 unexpected truths about how and why your desire to help can lead to unforeseen consequences. This approach does not endorse selfishness or hinder genuine kindness, but rather proposes a Stoic perspective where compassion meets wisdom and sympathy meets self-awareness. We'll explore these complexities, challenge our biases, and learn to recognize when our help is genuinely beneficial and when it might hinder personal and others' growth. Firstly, the Martyr Syndrome. Have you ever noticed yourself prioritizing others' needs above your own? If so, you may be familiar with what psychologists call the Martyr Syndrome. This phenomenon occurs when a person prioritizes others' well-being at the expense of their own mental and emotional health. It's a slippery slope that can lead to numerous negative consequences. Psychologically damaging, constantly neglecting our own needs in favor of helping others risks depleting our emotional reserves. As Epictetus taught Stoics, we should focus on what is within our control and remember that our own mental and spiritual well-being can pave the way to burnout and dissatisfaction. Imagine constantly juggling the needs of friends, colleagues, and relatives while neglecting self-care. Over time, this behavior pattern can undermine your sense of well-being and lead to emotional exhaustion. The constant need to be a savior for others may ultimately result in feeling resentment towards those you help and even towards yourself. Essentially, the Martyr Syndrome is a double-edged sword. While it may earn praise and admiration from those around us, it often comes at the cost of our own mental and emotional health. Therefore, the next time you feel compelled to sacrifice your well-being for the sake of others, remember the words of the Stoics. Maintaining inner peace and balance is crucial. While prioritizing oneself is important, pouring from an empty cup is unsustainable. Secondly, concerning dependency issues, have you ever noticed that the more you assist someone, the more dependent they become? This phenomenon underscores a critical aspect of helping others: the potential for dependency issues to arise. Although our intention in offering help may be genuine, inadvertently fostering dependency can hinder personal growth and self-sufficiency. From a Stoic perspective, dependency develops when individuals become accustomed to receiving assistance, even in minor matters. Over time, they may rely on others to solve their problems or fulfill their needs instead of developing skills and resilience to handle challenges independently. This behavioral pattern can be particularly detrimental when a person is capable of managing their issues, but prefers not to, due to external support. Real-life examples illustrate the consequences of fostering dependency through excessive assistance. Consider a parent constantly rescuing their child from minor setbacks like forgotten homework or disagreements with friends. While the parent's intention may be to shield the child from difficulties, they inadvertently deprive them of opportunities to learn from mistakes and develop problem-solving skills. Similarly, in a professional setting, micromanaging leaders may unintentionally stifle creativity and initiative among their subordinates. This can lead employees to overly rely on instructions and relinquish responsibility for their work. Ultimately, dependency issues can perpetuate a cycle of learned helplessness, where individuals believe they cannot overcome challenges without external aid. Finding a balance between offering support and encouraging independence is crucial. As Seneca taught, the foundation of human happiness lies in the ability to rely on oneself. True strength lies in equipping others with the tools and self-confidence to navigate life's challenges independently. Emotional leakage, compassionate attention, and support during challenging times are undoubtedly commendable acts of compassion. However, it's important to recognize that they can lead to emotional exhaustion. When we absorb others' problems and traumas without setting proper boundaries, we open ourselves to deep emotional impact that can affect our well-being. Imagine constantly carrying others' burdens, absorbing their pain and suffering as if they were our own. Over time, this emotional labor can become overwhelming, leading to feelings of burnout and fatigue from excessive compassion. Without adequate boundaries, helpers risk becoming emotionally depleted, leaving little room for their own needs and self-care. Stoics emphasize the importance of self-control and inner balance. self-care, and emotional resilience are essential in the context of helping others. Just as flight attendants instruct us to secure our own oxygen masks before assisting others, it is crucial for helpers to prioritize their own well-being. Engaging in activities that recharge and rejuvenate us, such as spending time in nature, practicing mindfulness, or seeking support from friends and loved ones, is necessary to maintain emotional equilibrium. Moreover, developing emotional resilience is key to overcoming inevitable challenges and setbacks that accompany helping others. By cultivating emotional resilience within themselves, helpers can continue to provide support to others without sacrificing their own mental and emotional health. Ultimately, assistance to others can be incredibly beneficial, but it's important to approach it with mindfulness and self-reflection, establishing boundaries, caring for oneself, and nurturing emotional resilience. By doing so, helpers can continue to have a positive impact while maintaining their own well-being. As Marcus Aurelius taught, inner tranquility is achieved by those who care for themselves first, thus discouraging destructive behaviors and fostering positive change rather than reinforcing negative patterns of dependency. Consider a scenario where a friend is struggling with addiction and we wish to support them. We might offer financial assistance, lend a listening ear, or justify their behavior. However, these actions can inadvertently shield the person from the natural consequences of their actions. Without feeling the full weight of their choices, they may be less motivated to seek help or make meaningful changes in their life. From a Stoic perspective, balancing support and accountability is crucial. While offering assistance in challenging situations is important, it's equally essential to hold others accountable for their actions and encourage them to take responsibility for their well-being. As Epictetus taught, the first step to freedom is recognizing one's mistakes. This can involve setting clear boundaries, providing constructive feedback, or gently guiding them towards resources that foster personal growth. By striking a balance between support and accountability, helpers can empower others to break free from destructive behavior patterns and take charge of their lives. Stoics believe that genuine help often requires not just support and indulgence, but also challenge and confrontation. In doing so, we lay the groundwork for genuine growth and transformation, where individuals reclaim their right to make choices and pave their own future. Yet, in our noble pursuit of helping others, it's easy to lose sight of ourselves. Immersing deeply in the needs and problems of those we help, we may find our own identity fading into the background, overshadowed by roles like caretaker or rescuer. Whether it's spending time on activities that bring us joy and satisfaction, such as drawing or recharging through nature, allocating time for these pursuits reminds us that we are multidimensional individuals with our own dreams and desires. Moreover, establishing clear boundaries is crucial for maintaining a sense of self-worth and preventing emotional exhaustion over time. While acts of compassion are undoubtedly valuable, they can come at the gradual cost of our self-esteem. Therefore, setting boundaries ensures that our role as helpers does not define us more than our own interests and needs. In the process of helping others, determining when and how we can offer assistance creates space for our own needs and priorities. This may involve setting limits on the amount of time we dedicate to helping others or respectfully declining requests for help when we feel overwhelmed. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius emphasize the importance of self-awareness and personal boundaries. Essentially, helping others is undoubtedly a noble endeavor, but it's important not to lose ourselves in the process. By maintaining personal boundaries and engaging in activities that nurture our own sense of identity, we can continue to support others authentically and effectively. Ultimately, as Marcus Aurelius taught, caring for our soul is a duty for everyone. By respecting our own needs, we can truly show up for others in a meaningful and sustainable way. Another less discussed aspect of helping others is the potential financial strain it can cause. Despite our pure intentions, continuous financial support for others can have hidden costs beyond our bank accounts. Consider a scenario where we consistently lend money without hesitation. However, it's important to be aware of the long-term consequences of such generosity. Over time, the cumulative effect of these financial contributions can jeopardize our own financial stability and security. Furthermore, the need to constantly act as a financial safety net for others can evoke feelings of obligation and burden, weighing heavily on us. We may find ourselves sacrificing our own financial goals and aspirations for the needs of others. Maintaining a sense of independence and control over our finances is crucial according to Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes prudent management of resources and setting boundaries. Establishing healthy financial boundaries is essential to mitigate the risk of financial strain when assisting others. This includes setting clear rules about when and how we are willing to offer financial assistance, as well as openly and assertively communicating these boundaries to those involved. Equally important is learning to say no when we cannot or do not want to provide financial assistance, even if it may seem inconvenient or difficult at the moment. By establishing healthy financial boundaries and learning to say no when necessary, we can ensure that our desire to help others does not jeopardize our own financial well-being. Ultimately, genuine assistance is not just about financial support. It's about empowering others to become independent and resilient in the face of adversity, as Epictetus taught. Happiness, he believed, is achieved not by accumulating wealth, but by reducing our desires. Sometimes the most valuable gift we can offer is encouragement and support to help someone stand on their own feet. Neglecting personal needs in the pursuit of helping others is all too easy. Whether spending long hours supporting a friend in crisis or consistently prioritizing others' needs over our own. However, such selflessness often comes at a cost. Over time, neglecting our fundamental self-care can lead to feelings of exhaustion, burnout, and neglect of our own physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Constantly being on call to respond to others' needs while disregarding our own can undermine our overall health and resilience. It's crucial to prioritize self-care practices such as sufficient sleep and healthy eating, foundational elements of self-help. Without these basics, we become more susceptible to stress, illness, and emotional strain. Philosophically, the importance of self-care and maintaining inner balance cannot be overstated. As Epictetus taught, we should care for our minds as diligently as we care for our bodies. It's important to maintain a healthy balance by paying attention not only to others but also to ourselves. This can include activities like meditation, journaling, spending time in nature, or engaging in hobbies that bring joy. Additionally, developing self-compassion and recognizing the importance of our own well-being is crucial. How we show empathy and willingness to help others also involves ensuring that we have the time and space to meet our own needs. This may involve setting boundaries on the amount of time we dedicate to helping others or knowing when to decline assistance when feeling overwhelmed. Helping others is a noble endeavor, but it's important to remember that we cannot pour from an empty cup. By setting priorities and taking care of ourselves, we can ensure that our desire to help others comes from abundance, not depletion. Continuous assistance to others can significantly impact our personal relationships, even though this impact may be subtle but profound. For instance, if we spend a lot of time and energy helping friends or colleagues, our loved ones may feel neglected in terms of attention and significance. Despite all efforts aimed at support, imbalance in attention and priorities can sow seeds of resentment in relationships. When relationships become transactional rather than based on genuine connection and closeness, it can lead to feelings of disconnect and isolation. The depth and authenticity of our relationships take a back seat when we assume roles of caretakers or saviors. Stoic philosophy teaches us to maintain balance and moderation in all aspects of life. Strategies for maintaining healthy boundaries in relationships are crucial to mitigate the consequences of constant assistance to others. This may include setting aside time for quality communication with loved ones, free from distractions and external obligations. Open and honest communication about our own needs and priorities fosters mutual understanding and respect. Furthermore, cultivating empathy and compassion in our relationships helps bridge the gap between our desire to help others and our efforts to maintain meaningful connections. By actively listening to the needs and concerns of our loved ones, we can create an atmosphere where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. However, there's a subtle danger of accumulating bitterness and fatigue from compassion fatigue. Despite our best intentions, feelings of resentment can gradually take root, especially when our efforts go unrecognized or unappreciated. Imagine spending a lot of time and resources to support a friend in a difficult moment, only for your efforts to go unnoticed and unacknowledged. Over time, resentment can build in these relationships where our help goes unacknowledged. This feeling can be particularly strong when our assistance isn't met with gratitude, recognition of our efforts, or reciprocal support when we need it. These perceptions can fuel bitterness and disappointment. Additionally, while compassion is a noble quality, it can lead to emotional and physical exhaustion. Compassion fatigue refers to the depletion that occurs from prolonged exposure to others' suffering and trauma. Imagine a healthcare worker spending long hours caring for patients, or a social worker hearing day after day about stories of abuse and trauma. Constant empathy towards others' pain can negatively impact their own well-being. Stoic philosophy teaches us to manage our emotions and find inner peace. Healthy strategies to overcome feelings of resentment and compassion fatigue are crucial for maintaining our own well-being and nurturing healthy relationships. One strategy includes practicing empathy and striving to understand the perspectives and circumstances of those who may have disappointed us. Recognizing that their actions may be influenced by their own difficulties can help cultivate compassion and forgiveness, easing the burden of resentment. Establishing clear boundaries and openly communicating our needs can prevent the accumulation of resentment and fatigue. By articulating our expectations and boundaries in relationships, we lay the foundation for mutual respect and understanding. Knowing when to prioritize meeting our own needs allows us to prevent burnout effectively. Cultivating compassion towards ourselves allows us to extend the same kindness to ourselves as we do to others, contributing to resilience in the face of adversity. Unrealistic expectations in the realm of helping others often come with an unspoken demand to always be available, which can breed unrealistic expectations both from those we assist and within ourselves. This pressure can lead to a cycle of stress and burnout that is difficult to break. Imagine a scenario where we expect ourselves to drop everything to meet others' needs at any moment. Our initial instinct might be to fulfill these demands out of a desire to be helpful. However, the constant pressure to always be ready can quickly become overwhelming. Establishing realistic boundaries and managing expectations is crucial for overcoming unrealistic expectations. Clear communication about our availability and limitations, setting clear rules for when and how we are willing to offer help, and prioritizing our own needs and priorities create a foundation for healthy and sustainable relationships. Moreover, managing expectations requires self-awareness and self-advocacy, which involves recognizing our boundaries and asserting our right to prioritize our own well-being, even if it disappoints others or is perceived as selfish. By reassessing our understanding of usefulness, we can begin to address unrealistic expectations society places on helpers and regain control over our lives. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of maintaining inner balance and personal boundaries, recognizing that we should only care for what is within our control. It's important to acknowledge that the desire to always be available and helpful can negatively impact our well-being. Establishing realistic boundaries, managing expectations, and advocating for ourselves allows us to develop a healthier and more resilient approach to helping others without compromising our own well-being. In conclusion, while helping others is a noble endeavor, it's important to be aware of potential pitfalls along the way, from the risk of burnout to the danger of ignoring warning signs. Helping requires careful self-analysis and establishing healthy boundaries. By respecting our needs and boundaries, we become better versions of ourselves, both for ourselves and for those we aim to help. Let your kindness come from abundance rather than depletion. Take care of yourself so you can shine light on others. Until next time.